Hello everyone! In today's video, we want to talk to you about stencils and show you different ways to use them and with which products. Stencils are templates, usually made of acetate or plastic, with a cutout design. We use them to apply the design onto a surface, whether with paint, inks or texture paste. In scrapbooking, stencils are often used to create beautiful backgrounds for our projects. Let's take a look at some examples. The most common way to use stencils is with inks. You can do this in two ways, with ink blending tools or ink blending brushes. Ink blending tools are these wooden handles with interchangeable foam pads that stick with Velcro. This way, you can have one for each color. Just dab it onto the ink pad and apply it over the stencil using circular motions. To work more easily, secure the stencil with masking tape. The brushes have color handles, so you can use one for each color, and they have soft bristles. The way you use them is the same as the blending tool, but this will give you a better result in gradients. You can also use mini ink blending tools or brushes to apply ink only to small details of the design or to use multiple colors on the same stencil. For this type of technique, it's necessary to use an ink that blends well. We recommend Distress Excite, and we'll leave a link to a video where we explain everything about them. You can also use embossing ink with a stencil. Apply it just the same way you did with the Distress ink, but add embossing powder, which will stick to the stencil design. This not only creates a beautiful background, but also adds a bit of texture. In addition to ink pads, you can also use spray inks with stencils. Place the stencil on the paper and from a distance about 20 centimeters, apply the ink while moving our hand to avoid blotches. Now you can carefully remove the stencil. As you can see, all the ink is left on the stencil, so you can make use of it by flipping the stencil over and stamping it onto another project. Another product you can use with stencils is paint. For this, you can also use brushes. Dip them into the paint and remove the excess to prevent it from seeping under the stencil, ensuring a well-defined design. With stencil brushes, make soft circular movements and use different colors. The last example we want to show you is with texture pastes. You can find them in many colors and finishes, or you can add color to a white one with inks, paints, pigments or glitter. Feel free to experiment and play with them. To apply texture paste over the stencil, use a flat spatula. Take a small amount of product and spread it gently, holding the spatula at about 45-degree angle and spread it slowly. It's better to take the product little by little rather than applying a big blob all at once. Carefully remove the stencil and let it dry. As you can see, with texture paste, we achieve a raised design. This is perfect for mixed media or home decor projects. And as an extra tip, if you don't want to use a certain part of the stencil design, you can cover it with masking tape. This way, even if you apply ink or texture paste over it, it won't transfer. We've shown you the basic use of stencils, and as we always say, from here on, you can use your imagination and experiment. Tell us in the comments, what do you think? Do you usually use stencils? Do you know any techniques we haven't mentioned? See you in the next video!